Yeah, this is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go!
Hi, everybody.
G'day, team.
We celebrated Australia's World Cup qualification by catching up with Daniel Garb.
We did, actually.
We respectfully talk about the death of an old lady.
We did. We handled it quite well.
I mean, it is quite the tale, to be fair. And we heard another tragic tale from Lorenzo. Started out as a hilarious story, and then it took a turn. Thanks for that, Lorenzo.
You'll find out how not to finish a story on the radio, actually, from that. It'll be really great, but it'll be enjoyable until you get to that bit.
It's inspired by Nathan's mum and dad staying in a hellhole in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
And then, I swear, it's unbelievable how Shaun turns on everybody in this room after we make Harry and all of us put something in our mouths.
Well, you're all wrong.
I didn't see it coming.
We can't. All right.
Loved it.
Take it away.
What was it?
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
So, guys, my mum and dad are currently in the thriving metropolis we like to call Kalgoorlie.
We
So
mentioned
they
it yesterday,
survived the
Nat.
journey.
They survived the journey driving up together, powered by egg sandwiches.
Homemade egg sandwiches, not
Windows
bought
down.
along the way.
There was that part from there's a bit between Southern Cross and like Kalgoorlie where there is no reception on the radio and they don't have any connectivity in their car. So it was just those two with silence. And egg sandwiches.
And impending doom.
Anyway, we've had to go up there to see a very dear family member who's not doing too well. And so it's sort of time sensitive that we get them up there now.
Yep.
And Kalgoorlie at the moment, you cannot get accommodation.
Like everywhere, there is a squeeze
Even
on
a
for accommodation.
month in time. If you
Yes.
if you just shoot any date in the future, it comes up zero.
So no hotels,
nothing.
Airbnbs.
There was one Airbnb that I could have got mum and dad for 4 nights of that Airbnb, which was just a dirty old house.
Yep.
Was $3,600.
Whoa.
It
Far
was
out.
insane. So
800 a night.
mining money. That's what that smacks of.
and that's what it is.
Yes.
It's the accommodation at the moment and the rental situation with all the miners not being able to come back here and find it. They're just basically staying in Kalgoorlie.
So the rental squeeze in Perth is forcing people to
Yeah.
stay in Kalgoorlie and
Yeah.
therefore snapping up all that accommodation as well.
So I said to
are
Mum
they
and
in a
Dad-
hostel?
No, I ended up just because I've been trying every day because I said to Mum and Dad, as soon as I can get accommodation, I'm going to get you up
Yep.
there. And usually I'd fly them up there too, but there's no hire cars either. so I end up snagging 2 nights, which was Monday
night.
and Tuesday night at a caravan park that you drive just into Kalgoorlie, and there's a caravan park there, and I got one of those parkside homes.
Oh, okay. So like a chalet kind of thing.
Sort
with
of thing.
Yeah.
You know what, mate? I've stayed in a few of those. In particular, there's one in Carnarvon and one in Geraldton when we've gone up north before. They've been really good.
Mate,
Yes.
the ones in
I've really
Esperance,
enjoyed
the
it.
ones in
Yeah.
Esperance are amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yelling up.
Esperance
Beachside
got
one
some
as
new
well.
ones
That's
as well, and
beauty.
they are
Whether it's the park home or the chalets, which
Yes.
are very
Yeah.
Instagrammable and
Yes.
Esperance, it's all bloody good.
All right. So how was that then?
Mum and Dad are not bougie people, yeah?
No. Yeah, they're not.
They're simple people, salt of the earth, so you know that they would never exaggerate. They said that it is the biggest shithole that they have ever stepped foot in.
We've seen photos of your house in
Thank
Kalgoorlie.
you. Thank you.
And it's worse than that?
Yes, Natalie, it
Far
is.
out.
Mum said that they walked in and it was they can see that they had mopped, but they hadn't.
Okay, yeah, so
Okay,
there's
yeah,
the
there's heaps of
lines, but
streaks
it's
and
still
lines,
dirty.
yeah.
It's still dirty. Anything that's in there that was white is now stained yellow. There are knobs and handles missing off everything. The microwave is faded within an inch of its life, so you can't work out what buttons
It's worked
you're pressing.
hard.
Yes. Yeah.
They said they had kitchen facilities there, which equates to a dirty electric fry pan.
And the microwave.
Oh, and a tiny,
the microwave.
tiny fridge, no doubt.
Yeah, tiny
One of
fridge.
those.
Oh, the fridge is the least of their worries,
Yeah,
Shaun.
okay.
It's supposed to sleep 4 people, so Mum and Dad, of course, are going to use the
Yes.
going to really use that bed.
That's
double bed.
that sexy double bed.
The double bunk, the bottom bunk's busted and missing.
Right.
So it's supposed to have 2 bunk beds in there. But the most alarming thing for Dad was you need water, yeah?
Of course.
So Dad goes to turn the tap on, the cold water tap on, and he can't budge. It will not budge. Will not budge for the life of him. And Dad's all of Dad's strength to get the cold tap on and the cold tap off. So he's mentioned it to them, and they basically have said there's nothing they can do. So Dad's going back there this morning to say, do you have any tools here? I'm going to, because it's a
Brian's
washer.
going to be down at Bunnings, isn't he?
Yes.
Buying tools to fix the washer.
So he can use
So
the
because
tap.
it's leaky, they're turning it right off as hard as they possibly can because it's dripping. Yeah,
I'd imagine there'd be no discount.
I know,
because
and it's
trying
really,
to-
really hard to actually move the tap as well.
Yeah.
So Dad's going to fix the tap today so they can
Brian's
use the
plumbing
cold water
services.
in this park home.
So what's it retail at a night?
$155 a night.
That seems fair.
For an extra $25, I think you can stay at the Ridges.
Yeah.
It is
If it's
unbelievable.
free,
Now,
yeah.
the thing is, they've got no option.
No, that's it. That was the only accommodation available.
I have stayed in a place before that was so horrendous that I have decided and I've gone straight out to reception. I've said I'm not staying here, and I've gone and walked to another hotel.
I would, yeah.
This here, they cannot.
They can't.
Yeah, they
they
can't.
are there.
One more night to go.
And Mum said as soon as you sit on the bed, it's got really sensitive wheels, and she just rolls off. So she went to
That's
sit on
gonna
the
make
bed,
life fun,
and she
isn't it,
rolled. She sat on the bed and just rolled onto the other side of the room.
Well, so it's an amusement park as well. So, you know.
Have you guys checked out whatif.com's top 10 winter weekenders yet?
Yeah, how good's a what if tip?
Fraser Coast is in there, Coral Coast, Bruny Island, maybe Orange. Yeah, look, book your winter getaway on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
Nathan's parents are in Kalgoorlie at the moment.
Yeah, they're in it.
And they're at the only available accommodation.
Yep.
Tap doesn't work.
Bed rolls.
Everything's yellow.
Bed rolls the other side of the road.
So when you're going at it, you're really getting across the
Yeah.
room now.
Mum and Dad aren't fancy folk, but they said that they've had any other option, they would walk out of there and burn it to the ground.
They could sleep in the car.
Mate, it's
That's-
that close. They're that close. They sounded depressed last night on the phone when I spoke to them.
Oh,
It's not nice.
One more night. Andrew's in Kelmscott. Hello.
G'day guys, how are you?
Great, Andrew.
Talk to us, Andrew, about when there were no other options.
I was a chef up on an exploration camp. We had no toilet, no basin, so you pretty much had no facilities there. You had to walk a K to go to the toilet. By the time we were on night shift, so by the time the miners had gone through, there was sludge on the floor. You had to have your thongs on. The toilets were trash, so not a nice experience, but we kind of did that for about a year, so it was a bit of a tough gig there for a while.
Oh, you did it for a year, Andrew.
So when you say toilets, do you mean like portaloos? It's
Yeah, you had to go out to communal, and you had to walk about a K across the camp. So if
a
you're
long
on
way to
night
go.
shift and you need to go for a pee,
Yeah.
you've got to walk across. And then the miners have been in, there was sludge everywhere.
Andrew,
Yeah, stop
And it
saying
was all
sludge,
plain-
Andrew. Stop saying
come on.
sludge.
You know what? You cannot tell me that it's at like 2 in the morning and you walked a kilometre to have a wee.
Yeah, there's
You
no-
went to the nearest wall.
Guaranteed.
Well, I thought about it, but it was like playing Twister in the shower with the mud and the sludge. So it's a very interesting experience.
I told you to stop
pretty,
saying
but we-
sludge,
we-
Andrew.
You know, and chefs are clean, but miners, it's a different vibe.
Yeah, I know.
All right, thanks,
Andrew,
mate.
That's
yeah,
pretty gross.
tough
Thanks,
going.
Andrew. Michelle's in Duncraig. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
All right.
Good, Michelle.
What happened, Michelle?
So I had I'd just come down from climbing to Everest Base Camp in Nepal,
Oh.
so we were ready for a really good night's sleep. We were knackered. It was myself and my dad, and booked into the nicest hotel that we could find in Kathmandu. We're really excited about this because we've been roughing it for a little while, and walked into the hotel room, beautiful crisp white sheets. We were so excited. Went to sleep, and I woke up at about 3 a.m. feeling something crawling on me.
Yeah.
Looked on me, and I had bed bugs all over me. Looked at my dad, and my dad's back was exposed, and he had bed bugs all
Just
over
crawling
his
all
back.
over his
And
back.
I screamed and jumped up and turned on the light and ran down to reception, and they were like, "I'm really sorry, there's nothing we can do. The hotel is fully booked, so we've got nowhere to move you." So I had to go back to the room. My dad is mental. He just went back to sleep and sucked it up. And I just sat on this little dining chair in the corner of the room, whimpering, having an awful time. And in that time, while I was waiting to be checked out, I counted, and I had over 200 bites on my body.
Michelle.
I've never experienced bed
And
bugs.
Oh, I have in Broome. It
And
was
then the
horrendous.
worst part,
Yeah.
they put us in a new room the next day when someone checked out, and a few hours later, we saw them checking someone else into our room.
Oh,
No.
did they, the cheeky buggers?
Did you warn them? Nah.
Yes, we did. No, we went over and told them. So I don't know what happened, but we weren't going to let them experience the same thing that we did.
Once
Yeah,
you get them
bedbags
too,
are
they're hard to
horrendous.
get rid of.
Yeah, we
once
started
they
a
get
place
into
in
the
Broome, and that was for a couple of nights, and they just carved us up. It was
Imagine
horrendous.
spending your entire night sitting on a dining room chair with your
Whim-
legs
don't
up.
forget the whimpering.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Brian and Marlene Morris are currently in Kalgoorlie, getting back to their roots. And Nathan organised accommodation for them. Got the only thing available.
The only thing.
It's not great.
Oh, no. No. If they could, they would leave, and that comes a lot from Marlene and Brian. Remember, I grew up in a house that was made of asbestos and had no door, and they would rather have been there than where they are now. But there is no option. That's it. It is what it is.
So we want to know if you've been stuck somewhere. Doesn't have to be accommodation-wise, but just
In life.
in life where there were no other options. Jess, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Jess.
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, so my hubby and I had just sort of started our relationship and we were heading to my mother-in-law's for dinner. She was aware that we were both really big fans of bruschetta. Love bruschetta.
I mean, it's good that she was
I
aware
love
of this
bruschetta
fact.
too, Jess.
Is this a well-known thing
right?
about you both?
Or is it bruschetta?
Bruschetta.
Okay.
Oh, look, I don't know. I just say bruschetta.
Yeah,
you know?
you
Yeah,
say
no,
whatever you
I
want.
love bruschetta.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So anyway, she made us bruschetta, and her version of bruschetta was some toasted bread with a shit ton of parsley,
Yes.
with a tiny little bit of tomato on top. So yeah, parsley super strong, as we all know, super strong. So yeah, we were sitting at the table and she brought it out, made a big deal about it. That she'd made us bruschetta. I swear it was a dig at me. I swear to this day it was a dig. And I, that she didn't like me in the beginning. And
She tried to scare you
Yeah,
off with
I'll scare you off.
parsley,
This'll get
with
her.
all the parsley.
This'll
I
get
know
her.
we'll get rid of her.
Yeah.
Garlic works on vampires.
Right.
Definitely parsley will work on this. Mole.
right. So hubby and I have looked at each other and we kind of we know what's coming, So we've tucked into this bruschetta and she was looking us dead in the eyes while we were taking that first bite, and it was just the worst thing I've ever tasted in my entire life. And it was super hard to just swallow it.
What did you?
While
What did
she
you
was...
yeah.
She must have asked you
Yeah,
what you thought of
yeah,
it.
so that's the thing.
Yeah, she did. She looked us dead in the eyes. We swallowed the first bite, and she asked us what we thought of it, and I said, "Oh, it was delicious." I could not say that I didn't like it. It was
also,
just
she
I was
probably
put on
made
the
it.
spot.
Did she make a few rounds as well? Because as we know about you
Yeah,
and your
it kept
partner,
coming.
you
It
love
kept
bruschetta.
coming.
Loves
yeah.
bruschetta.
And
It kept
also
on coming.
Yeah.
ever after, because if you've said it's delicious the first time, she's obviously going to make it for you every time after that.
Yeah, well, thankfully she hasn't made it again.
Oh.
I'm very thankful for that.
She peaked early.
But yeah. So we had some wine, and everything kind of calmed down, and we just kind of stopped eating it, and nothing was said.
Well,
So-
you know what though, because obviously the bruschetta didn't work to scare you away from her boy.
Yes.
I would never, if she offers, eat Nutella on toast at her house.
Nathan.
Just moving forward.
I'm with you, mate.
Thank you, Jess.
I'm with you. I'm with Nathan.
Lorenzo, hello.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good, Lorenzo.
Buddy, what happened when you had no other option, Lorenzo?
Okay, I went to Italy with my wife Lucy
Yeah.
about 7 or 8 years ago to pick her father up, he kept escaping from homes. He had dementia, but he was an escape artist.
Yes.
Italian Houdini. Anyway, we got there. We weren't very financial back then. I only took about just under $400 with me to a whole trip to Italy. All expenses were paid.
Whoa.
So we had no money. We had accommodation in her father's unit. Hadn't been lived in for 2 years.
Yep.
So we got to Rome. We caught a train out to Cantalupo. There's 2 trains. It was a horror from the start to the finish. There's 2 trains from Rome to Cantalupo.
Yep.
We caught the wrong one. No air conditioning. 5 hours of 41 degrees heat on the train.
Oh, no breeze coming through, Lorenzo.
It was a crap journey. Anyway, we got there, went to the unit. Her really picked us up, dropped us off at the unit. Didn't see him for 3 days, so I just went to the shop and bought noodles for 3 days. I had no money.
Yes.
We bloody lived on it. Anyway, The first night we're itching and scratching and what the hell's going on? The second day, Lucy's complaining to my wife, geez, I'm always itchy and I've got rash on my back. So I said, it's probably just the heat because it was 40 degrees.
Yeah.
The second night, we went to bed, got up in the morning, and I got up 5 or 6 o'clock. Lucy never gets up that early. Anyway, she was in the kitchen crying.
Yeah.
I said, what's wrong? She said, I've got blood on my back.
Oh.
I went, what? She says, I said, show me. Mate, she must have had 100 or 200 bites and they were all bleeding. They were huge.
Oh.
She had blood all over her back, so I had to take her to the doctor and get antibiotics.
Yeah.
We had no money for any other accommodation, right? So, 3 days, the next day, which was the third day, the relish decided to come and see us.
So wait, there's 3 days of your wife slowly being eaten by something. Yes.
Yeah, they didn't do good enough a job anyway, I won't say that.
Lucy's really coughing at in this story. Keep going.
No, she doesn't listen to 93, so I'm pretty safe.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Anyway, it doesn't end there. It was just crap from start to finish. Anyway, we got back to the airport, they dropped us off. We took her father home to Australia, and Lucy cared for him for 6 months. Because he didn't want to go to another home, and when we did find another home, she told him in Italian, Papa, blah, 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 I can't talk Italian.
Well, it sounded like you were fluent.
I thought you were right. Yeah.
Lorenzo. Yes.
Mannaggia, non capisci niente. Anyway, there is a very sad ending to this story.
Oh, okay.
Very sad.
Okay, we're going to get ready.
He committed suicide after 6 months because we found him another home to live in.
Oh,
that's very
Lorenzo.
sad.
Oh, that's sad.
Terrible start to finish.
Yeah.
You know, and I found him in the pool at the back of the house.
Oh,
Lorenzo. That isn't a way to finish off a story
No.
on the radio. But,
No.
you're like, no other option though while your wife is being eaten away. That is unbelievable.
Grim.
And you just had to watch her while she got smaller and smaller because little bites are being taken out of her.
Chunks.
That's a good way to lose weight.
Oh, mate. Why not? Thanks, Lorenzo.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
Oh, yeah!
Ole,
And that's what's going on because the Socceroos have made the World Cup against all the odds.
Last gasp.
Unbelievable. We're catching up with football journalist, the champion himself, Daniel Garb, who's across all this and would have been up all morning watching this. Garby, how are you?
What a bloody morning. How good.
I know.
What a miracle.
We are back there. 5 straight World Cups, and you're right, against the odds and with the monumental call by the coach in the penalty shootout. It had so much drama. We never do it the easy way. We should have been hosting this World Cup, let's be honest, but at least we'll be there. It's a great morning.
So no chance of winning at all, yeah?
No.
Or this playoff or the World Cup?
The World Cup.
Oh, look, we no chance of
Don't
winning
ruin
the
the
World Cup.
moment,
No,
Nathan.
I'm just saying we're just happy to be there. Natalie and I were invited to the Queen when she came to
Yes,
Perth.
to her garden party.
But we were not allowed within 50 feet of her.
Yeah, but
it was just nice to be
happy
invited.
to be involved, you know?
Look, if we get through the group, and look, as we proved this morning, anything's possible in the
Anything's
game
possible.
of football.
Yeah,
if
but
you
it's
can
not.
defend well and hold up your end. Getting through the group would be a fantastic achievement. We haven't done that since the 2006 World Cup. But this team's been ridiculed, has been mocked, the coach more than anyone. To get through all of that, bond together, maintain their belief, and play really well this morning. They kept a team that was a warm favourite in Peru, basically without being a threat to them for the majority of the 90 minutes, and then to prevail in penalty shootouts. A fantastic achievement. The World Cup is the biggest stage in sport alongside the Olympics, and to be back there again for Australia is enormous. 5 straight is a massive achievement. Never take that for granted.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I had no intentions of waking up and speaking about the Socceroos in a positive light this morning,
because you'd
Daniel.
written them off.
I'd written them off. I didn't think Peru. We're talking about a strong football nation
22
here.
in the world versus 42 in the world,
You thought, they can't be winning this.
Paddington Bear.
Yep. all
They
your Peruvian
smashed us
facts.
They smashed us at the last World Cup. And did you see the crowd? I mean, the amount of Peruvians that were there. At the 2018 World Cup in Russia, I spoke to some of them. They said they sold their cars to go follow the team at the last World Cup.
Far out.
It seems like they did the same again just
Bet they
to
feel
watch the
stupid
game in
now.
Qatar. They're going to be riding bikes now back in Peru. But the crowd was full of Peruvian fans. It felt like an away game because, for them, football is life. And let's be honest, Australians haven't been as invested in this World Cup campaign because it's been a little bit draining from times and the form hasn't been great. Well, we've given ourselves a massive lift now and fantastic to see. Really happy for the players and the coaches for doing this against all odds.
Now, the big talking point is, of course, Graham Arnold's sort of having the balls to switch out the goalkeeper just before the penalty shootout and thrusting Andrew Redmayne in under immense pressure.
Garby, I was saying to the guys this morning that he was the difference when Perth Glory weren't able to get the chockies only a couple of years ago at Optus Stadium.
Correct. And he did the exact same thing. He danced on the line like the Wiggles and it paid off for Sydney and Graham Arnold went with that tactic again. It took massive kahunas from Graham Arnold to make that call. Now, this is a coach who I reckon has been ridiculed more than any other in Australian sport.
Yes, by Shaun McManus mostly. Yeah.
Oh, and so the safe call is to keep Matt Ryan in goals because if Andrew Redmayne doesn't get near one, Arnie's battered beyond pale. I mean, it would have been beyond anything you would have ever seen in your time. The amount of criticism he would have copped. But he still made that call, but he felt it was the right one, and it paid off. And for Andrew Redmayne as well, a lot of people thought he didn't deserve to be in the squad based on his form for Sydney this season. I'll admit, I was one of them. But, this is maybe one of the reasons why they kept him in. And I can tell you, back in 2016, he was playing for the Western Sydney Wanderers. He had a shocking season. He said a couple of times he was ready to quit football altogether and become a school teacher. He's had enough of it. Sydney FC gave him a chance, turned his career around then. Now he's sent the Socceroos to the World Cup and is a national hero. It's an amazing story.
So you're right when you say him dancing around made him look like one of the Wiggles. Would you have called that the hot potato, the fruit salad, or the
Wake
big
Up
red
Jeff?
car, or the Wake Up Jeff?
Because I've seen Nathan's version of the fruit salad. Very interesting.
And I've seen Shaun's version of the helicopter too. That's quite disturbing.
It's all encompassing. And you know what? It takes a bit of guts to do that as well because you look like an absolute idiot. You do.
Yeah,
you look
and
like
if it doesn't come off, if it doesn't work,
you're the joke.
You're an idiot.
You're like a marionette puppet. The person's having a seizure.
And it's not just an A-League grand final. The world's watching now. Yeah. And yet he still had the guts to do it, and it worked. He made a couple of big saves, and he deserves enormous credit for that. I'm really happy for him. He's one of the good guys.
Garby, so you're right when you say that Australia doesn't have, the fandom that other places do for this game. Do you reckon the true fans are just so enraged when everyone, of course, now will be jumping on the bandwagon, as we did during the curling of the Olympics?
As we always do.
With those Australian curlers and everyone suddenly all curling. It's like no one even knows the rules nor cares, but we're jumping on the bandwagon. What do you think?
Yeah, look, we're obviously not a football nation like the South Americans, but that's not because we don't have a lot of people who don't love the game here. We do. There's millions who are football fans in this country. We just have so many other sports. That's just the way it is in Australia. That's just our landscape. But the amount of passion, the passion for the Socceroos and for the game here is strong. Make no mistake, I've been lucky enough to be to the last 3 World Cups. The Australian supporter group matches it with anyone in terms of numbers and in terms of pure passion, and I reckon there'll be big numbers there in Qatar as a result.
Yeah,
I think we've just seen.
I watch every second. I watch every second.
I'm sure Qatar Airways website crashed this morning as people tried to book tickets.
Oh, no doubt.
Immediately.
But here's the deal: like we speak about AFL every day here.
Yeah,
we don't, and this is generally as most places over east it'll be NRL. You know, but soccer only gets a shoe in when it's something like this.
Totally agree with you, Nathan. If they hadn't have got through right, soccer would take a massive hit going forward. Obviously, sponsorship and all that, because it's not in media as we're talking about now. But now the fact that they've got through, and you're right, people start to
such a boon
jump on the bandwagon, momentum starts swinging, and all of a sudden you can find the next wave of Harry Kewells and Mark Vidukas and the like because of Australia making this World Cup.
Because it gets kids into grassroots playing.
You agree with that, Garby?
Oh, it's a big boost, of course. I mean, the problem is, the football cut-up is very unique. People are obsessed with European football and the Premier League and overseas football, but they love the game, and people are invested in the Australian game at participation levels. The A-League has dropped off in the last year or two. There's no doubting that in a very big way, and this boost is important for that. The game would have survived without it. They've got everything together now. My understanding is they only would have lost $5 million if we hadn't made the World Cup, but it is a very big boost that the game required as well. It's important. And of course, making the World Cup provides a huge stimulus every single time it happened. But, it wouldn't have fallen off the radar completely if we hadn't made it. It would have just taken a dip, and then it picks up again when you have another boost like this.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes, unfortunately, for just about every code in Australia behind the AFL and NRL.
Yeah, it's like, in 18 to 20 years' time, we'll be seeing the next wave of curlers, Shaun.
Yes.
Like I said before.
That is true.
Yeah, so we'll give it a boost.
Daniel, we really appreciate the time this morning.
Big day
We're
for you,
wrapped
Garby.
for the Socceroos, and I'm sure you've had a great morning
Hope you
already.
get some sleep soon, Garbs.
Well done, mate.
Great day for all of us. Go the Socceroos. Enjoy being an Australian today.
Good on you,
Good on
mate.
you, Garby.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Now, here in Australia, we have a lot of dangerous creatures to look out for. Snakes, spiders.
Hate them.
Porcupines.
Stonefish.
Stonefish.
Irukandji.
What's an irukandji?
Jellyfish.
Box jellyfish.
Oh.
Yeah, the surfing team was named after them
It's
for
the
the
one
Olympics.
you told a story about, the sense of impending doom. That's Irukandji.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the irukandji. Oh,
It's
that
not a
sounds
great
bad.
position to be in, is it?
No.
Drop bears.
No. Crocodiles.
Crocodiles, Shaun. We don't have elephants.
We don't have elephants.
This
no.
is unbelievable. A 70-year-old woman in India, right? She went and fetched some water from a well. An elephant came barreling towards her, and the elephant unfortunately trampled her to death. This is really sad. It escaped from a wildlife sanctuary, right?
Well,
So the woman's family were then performing her last rites before lighting a funeral pyre when the elephant returned, grabbed her body and threw it in the air.
What?
And then ran off.
I don't know how to take this news, Nathan. Why? What?
Why?
How?
Well,
I don't
the
know.
elephant hasn't made a statement.
The elephant hasn't made a statement.
Okay, so having a memory like an elephant,
Yeah.
do they remember the person?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that the elephant came back to apologise.
No. The elephant came out of nowhere, like out of the bushes, tracked her family down, grabbed her body, threw it in the air, and then ran back off.
That elephant's an asshole.
Well, or is there more to this story? What did that lady do to that
Oh,
elephant?
come on. Like she was going to the well to get
No,
water
but
as
we
if
don't-
her life isn't hard enough.
One thing we know about,
Yes, we do.
one thing we know about is elephants have amazing memories.
So in a period before, that elephant might have been upset by that lady
That
in
is
some
a
way.
vendetta.
Yeah.
That has to be. How does an elephant track down the family of the same woman and then decide to...
Are we sure it was the same elephant?
Yes, it
how
was the same
far?
elephant. It was this escaped elephant.
Okay, this escaped elephants trampled the lady, and it's not. I wouldn't imagine. Oh, she could have been anywhere getting that water. Hey.
Oh, she's down by a river.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's a well.
A well, sorry, well. Yeah, she's down by a well.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like he still could have been in the area, and then I don't know. Did he come in to then celebrate by throwing her in the air that she's moving on?
I don't know, Shaun.
Oh, to assist her into the next realm. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, what? So to really finish the job?
You know when people
'Cause the job was
celebration they throw
finished.
you in the air like woo, a particular.
Oh, like confetti?
Yes, almost.
It's not a
Old
Jewish
lady
wedding.
confetti?
Oh no, in European, let's say in a European soccer game, because soccer's on my mind, and we all get in a circle, and Harry saved the goal, and we're throwing him in the air, woo woo.
So you think
Oh,
that's
like-
how
yeah,
that's
like-
So this is basically the pouring Gatorade on a champion.
Yes. No,
I don't think so.
a bit of a.
I mean, I get what you're saying. But I don't know.
But because the elephant hasn't made a statement, we'll never know.
We'll never know. So they're tracking down the elephant now.
Yeah,
to
okay.
get a statement?
Well, yes. I mean, cause seriously, I think people in India are going, wait there, what happened here? Because I would like this not to happen to me.
I mean, it's pretty horrific. Probably goes down as one of the worst funerals ever.
Oh, it's not good.
No.
Like the death wasn't good, nor was the funeral.
No. How do you celebrate that afterwards? Because the wake's a great celebration of
They
someone's
went
life.
on afterwards. They just continued after the elephant, as I say, threw the corpse in the air and then ran away.
That is hard. That is. I don't know if they had a priest at the thing, but it's hard to keep going on.
It's very hard to keep going. So thank God we're in Australia, because koalas can't throw us.
Oh my lord!
Well,
no.
if we're looking for silver linings,
Well, we
I
are,
guess
aren't
that's
we?
it.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
Nathan was just showing Harry where he used to live in Kalgoorlie,
Yeah.
and Harry is blown away.
It was
It's
quite
really great, actually.
quite the trip down memory lane.
I've
Harry?
shown you it at its best now. Like, if that was where I lived when I was growing up, I would have thought it was a mansion and it was beautiful.
Lucky guy.
What did you think of that, Harry, who grew up in Floreat?
No,
Harry, was that sobering for you to feast your eyes on 18 Butler Street?
Nathan, you've made it, my friend.
Now he's got a bedroom door.
His own bedroom door.
Well done.
It's a real rags to riches story, isn't it?
And the rags are pretty raggy.
The rags. You wouldn't touch them.
The raggiest of the rags.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
I talked about something yesterday that I got at the shops. And it's whenever Shaun talks about something, I always afterwards do it. Like right now, I'm stuck in a crumpet spiral.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Hey, when I mentioned the cookies yesterday, I thought you would have slammed me, but you were like, no, I've already
No,
on to 'em.
because you mentioned cookies the other week
Yeah, I
as
did.
well. And for some reason, cookies were on my radar, and I'd seen this article about this New Zealand guy just wiping packets of these Coles cookies, boxes of them off the shelf, taking them back to New Zealand because everybody wants them.
Oh.
And I was like, they can't be that good. So anyway, Harry, you were all about this.
You FaceTimed me yesterday from Coles?
Yeah, Amy never eats anything like this because she eats
Does
like,
this one have a bite out of it, or is it just broken?
So I haven't bitten them. It's just broken.
Harry, you
Okay,
bitten
just
off?
checking.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So anyway, this is New Zealand. No, I've had one. No, they're too good.
Did you have a bite out of this one?
No, I can't.
Okay, they've got
Because
a
then
chocolate
I'll
coating on the bottom.
So they're a choc chip biscuit with
you can
chocolate
get ones
coating on
without
one
the
side.
chocolate coating, but I thought, why not when you're in Rome? Anyway,
So 40% chocolate chip cookies, chocolate dipped.
Get in here, Zach.
As
Zach
well.
wants to try one.
Zach, he had cookie and he's in.
Zach, get in here. You try one too. Get over here. Are they not like for a?
Okay.
Just put it in your mouth.
No.
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 Why?
They're really sugary.
Well, dude,
No,
that's
I know,
a
but
cookie.
I think Coles does another one that's better.
Well, this isn't the one that everyone's that one that hasn't had articles written about whatever your Coles.
Yeah. No.
From the actual bakery section I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm taking the bakery section.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about those ones. We're talking about these. Nat, what do you think?
It's very reminiscent of one that my mum used to buy.
Yeah.
That came in a bag that had that, but they were smaller. They were like kind of bite-sized little ones. Very reminiscent of those.
I remember those back in the day.
They didn't have chocolate on the back.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
I like them softer, more of a
gooey
doughy.
cookie.
Yeah.
But they're hardly hard.
No.
How brittle is your jaw?
Oh my god! I think that we've just stumbled. Sean is the Simon Cowell of the cookie world.
That's not a top cookie. That's not a top cookie roll.
Are we going to have to start like a cookie?
Yeah.
The Cookie Monster.
I think we
a new
should.
segment called the Cookie Monster, where we get
Shaun
Sean to
disparages
try
cookies.
cookies and he tells us what's wrong with them. Is that what's happening here?
I think we've started it already.
Okay, if anyone out
It's Zach's
there,
job to make the little opener things. So Zach, get on to it.
it's pretty much done already, isn't it?
And we just have to add the Cookie Monster to that.
Hey,
So, okay.
have one.
No, Sean.
No. I'm not hearing your rubbish.
No, Sean,
Have a
because
cookie now.
I had two the other day, and I told you.
The other day.
I spray and wiped them and threw them in the bin. I cannot go down that road.
Just
I
have
can't
one.
because I go down that road alone.
Just
alone, Sean. And then the cookies are at my house, and they all go in me.
Hey, heroin addict, just have one.
No, I can't. I like them so much. It's Natalie Dim Sims.
Yeah, but you're not taking them home. You're just going to have one.
No, because then I'll go home and get a box.
But
I will go there. Yes, I will.
You need, it's an exercise in self-control.
Nose means no.
Nose means no.
Nathan says no. That's another segment we'll do. We've got the Cookie Monster, and then you bring this to me, and I'll say no about them.
And then immediately after, it'll be you saying no to whatever he's just eaten.
2 new segments. Zach, get in there.
Good times coming up, everybody.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey, this is the official World Cup song for
we're on
Qatar.
board.
It's taking place in late November and December. And of course, we know Qatar won the World Cup by just paying a heap of
Just
World Cup officials off.
legitimately, because
Right.
theirs was the best bid because it's only about 97 degrees every day there.
Yeah, they
which
had
is
to build
perfect soccer weather.
They had to build stadiums with air conditioning all around it just so people can hack being played there. And the other thing is that, as we know, it's in the wrong time of the year for every other competition around the world.
Yes.
But gee, they managed to get it over the line.
We've got Christmas shopping to do.
We should get their marketing person here in Australia.
Yes, we should.
Or just a
Yes, we
briefcase
should.
full of money,
Yes.
thanks.
Yes.
Absolutely. So anyway, Australia are off to the World Cup for the fifth consecutive year. Once again, I was waking up this morning thinking, it's a great opportunity to tee off on Graham Arnold again, as I said last time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
Now
think
he
they'd
looks
be
like a
winning.
genius, doesn't he?
He does. And the big call of the night is when Australia and Graham Arnold decide to sub the goalkeeper, who's the captain, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And he's a well-known goalkeeper, and bring on Andrew Redmayne. Now, this guy was able to pull off one particular save that saved Australia
That
from
won the
being
match for
ousted,
them, yeah.
and they won the match and they're through.
So is this Redmayne usually good?
Well, yes. If you think back to last time the Perth Glory played in the grand final, which was here at Optus Stadium, they played Sydney FC. It went down to a penalty shootout.
Yeah.
He was the goalkeeper who pretty much put off the Perth Glory for winning.
Right.
He was the hero that day as well.
Okay.
So, Nath, he's been around the local competition for a long time.
So
He hasn't made it massively
is he
international
now just
at all.
a penalty shootout specialist?
I believe so.
So you don't
Yeah.
even bother starting him. You just sit him on the bench, and if there's a penalty shootout looking likely, you bring him on.
Well, he's good enough to play in the A-League and be the best goalkeeper around,
sure.
but he hasn't played at the top level.
He's not playing in the EPL or anything.
No,
or
not at the
in
moment.
Europe,
No,
yeah.
he's not. But yeah, he came on and he jumps around a lot.
Yeah.
And he's trying to fake out the guys. And I guess, again, I mentioned this before, if you're from Peru, the pressure's on you, isn't it? Because you're playing lowly Australia. This is your whole nation. How many people in Peru now? Can you Google that for us?
Yeah, I can
But
Google
every
that.
single one of those people in the South American continent would have been watching.
So
that
if we
game.
were to
Yeah, for
beat
sure.
them, it'd be like them coming over here and beating us in AFL.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What about the shame on that? Oh, that
32, nearly 33 million.
Okay. And
okay.
dedicated to the round ball game.
We're not going to have a fighting chance at all, are we? We're just happy to be there. We're just happy to be there. So we're the team that everyone walks past and goes, oh, how cute.
I love the gold. I love the green and gold of those guys.
Hello. Like at Eurovision, which is like a special invite.
Yes, I think it'll be a minor miracle, Nathan, we were able to come away with a
anything.
couple of
Yeah.
wins.
A couple of wins
Yeah.
against who? Is this how that?
There's gotta be a couple of teams. Who knows?
We don't know the draw yet, do we? So we
No,
don't
we don't know the draw.
Are we in the group of death?
But take the draw out. What's one of the countries that we will have that we could?
Well, I think that Saudi Arabia got through.
I feel like they'd be good.
Well, again, if they're throwing some suitcases at the opposition teams, who knows how far they can go.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't be allowed suitcases. I don't
Full
know
of
the game
cash.
very well,
Full of
but I'm
cash.
sure that's not
Or
legal.
maybe free petrol for everyone who they
Oh,
play against.
yeah.
And that would get you over the line, wouldn't you?
Jitterbug.
Imagine if you came up against Saudi Arabia and they gave you some kind of gold card that allowed you to free fuel forever if you let the ball go through the net.
Oh, guaranteed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it'd fall over. You'd stumble. Oh, I fell over this blade of grass and down.
Someone threw a suitcase at me. I'd get someone to throw a suitcase at me.
Moving on to the AFL, and last night, North Melbourne's number one pick was suspended for 2 games, Jason Horne-Francis. But apart from him being suspended, he's supposed to be the gun of guns, and North Melbourne were desperate to get him. They were able to get him in the draft this year, and he was going to change their fortunes. Well, on the field, he's been having arguments with senior players. They've been getting stuck into him.
In his own team?
Yep, and he's been showing a bit of, I don't know, outward dissent, I guess, to the rest of the teammates. Our good friend David King was on AFL 360 just the other day, and he had this to say about him.
They've got a massive issue with the number one pick. He is playing his own game at the moment. He needs to pull his head in. It's as simple as that. Oh, I know he's a star factor player, but he's abusing his teammates on field. You can see it now. There's problems with his own game that he's not really presenting his best footy, yet he's happy to spray guys that are 300 gamers.
This is an 18-year-old.
He just doesn't like anyone that he works with and thinks he's better than all of them.
It seems that way at this
We've
moment.
all worked with that person,
We've
though.
all worked with that person.
Don't
And
look here.
You know what? No, but it is. It's like the young person that starts work and thinks they know everything.
Yeah.
And thinks they're really good.
I've never seen it happen in my time in AFL. I've never seen that happen from a young guy. They normally, who knows what's happening
That are
behind the
eager
scenes.
and keen to learn and show respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
and
really
he's
surprised.
rather than eager, he's ego.
Yeah. God, if they've picked him up and knowing he had some personality flaws, I'm sure they've done all the psychology tests along the journey. This is a real problem for them because this was supposed to change their club for the better, and he could be the first dude you need to get out. You know those people, you just need to get him out the door.
Yeah, but then if everyone knows what a little prick he is,
exactly.
No one's going to take him, are they?
Oh, someone will.
Really?
He's from South Australia, so they'll go, we'll be able to come home to the family, that kind of
So maybe
scenario.
he's just sick of being in a team where they're losing all the time and he's trying to get out.
Yeah, that could be an issue too, but you never see all those guys who went to the Gold Coast Suns who had to go and play there, number one picks, they just got about their business until they were able to leave. But I don't know, that's just such a bad thing for a young person to do.
Young people, am I right?
Young people these days, not back in our day. Remember, Natalie, when we first started radio?
Oh, I thought you could say AFL football.
No one was losing more than us. We rocked up every day with a smile on our face.
That's right, and hope in our hearts.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.